What's up, StaleMates? August 13th, buy your tickets. Kyven Gadson versus Pat Downey. We have this many tickets left. I can't tell you how many because I don't actually know. They keep me out of that. I'm too busy doing content. But go check out the link down below if you want to be in the building. If you're at home, if you live on the East Coast, West Coast, and you can't go, you just want to stay at home in your chair, you can watch it on our Patreon. You gotta subscribe to Patreon, $3.99 a month, and you get to check it out, cancel anytime you want. We also want to thank our sponsors, Above and Beyond Wash and Seal, best floors in the game. Tyler, get the floors real quick. Check it out, clean as a whistle. You can have your floor be as clean and crispy as a whistle as well if you just click the link down below. Hit up Trent, he's your guy. And last but not least, Barbarian Apparel. You see the vibes, you see it, get a close up of that. StaleMates Street League, you see it, our logo. Wear this on the golf course. Make this your party shirt, make this your beach shirt. Also, if you're partying on the beach, why not get a little flag, a little banner, let them know your favorite show, StaleMates. See this bad boy, fly this high, go check them out. And also, StaleMates Street League, we had to make it. August 13th, baby, Forte Event Center. Welcome back to another episode. We have a very special guest in the building. I think this has been a guest that we've wanted on the show for a long time now. He gets the wrestling world going, and he is one part of our main event. He's walking around his house a little bit. I don't know what he's doing. He's down there in Florida, and it looks nice. Looks like it's a pool party. We have Pat Downey. What's up, Pat?
Hey, what's up, man? Every day's a pool party in SoFlo, baby.
Yeah,
Check it out.
Yeah, where are you at right now? What is that? What's going on?
It's my crib, bro.
Okay.
I'm here. I got the bands, the Bulgarian bands. We got Gabe. We're swinging maces, man. I'm swinging my maces. I got my Bulgarian bags. We got the speed bag. We got the ropes. You know, it's a compound day.
All right. What kind of training are you doing for this match? Because you got the mace going and you got all kinds of stuff happening. You got the speed bag.
Dude, I'm always training. Whatever gets me a workout. I actually just got off running the beach with my dog.
Okay.
Wake up, work out. It's a lifestyle, you know. You don't get this jack not doing shit. You gotta stay busy.
Let's go. I like it. Have you always worked out that kind of way though, doing that kind of unorthodox training, or what's the training look like compared to other times?
Yeah. Obviously, there's times I listen to my body. Like there's times where I don't do as much of this cross training when I'm like competing more, like focus more on my grappling or wrestling, jiu-jitsu. But I've been kind of banged up. I had that jiu-jitsu competition. It kind of tweaked my knee, a little MCL, LCL. I don't really have much meniscus left, so I don't think that was hurt. But I was just stiff. So I listen to my body, man. Like if I can't wrestle, I can swing my mace. If I can't swing my mace, I can lift some weights. If I can't lift weights, I can hit the bat. I'm always trying to find a way to get better.
Okay, and so when we asked you who are you going to have corner and everything, you said negative. Are you going unattached assassin for this match?
No, I got the OG Ben Provisor just signed with Grantview.
Yep.
Him and I will be linking up out there. I didn't have a corner at the Olympic trials, but I'll have a corner for the StaleMates Street League.
Okay, so let's talk about StaleMates Street League. That's why you're on the show. So you're going to be wrestling Kyven Gadson. And we tweeted something along the lines of like, who should we bring out of folk style retirement? And you said, I know a guy. You're speaking about yourself. You and I kind of DM'd a little bit. And then from there, it seemed like it was kind of calculated. You were kind of like tweeting at a lot of people, trying to get people going. And you were messaging me like, let's do this guy, whatever. Was that calculated? Were you trying to get Kyven to bite the bait and try to get him on this thing?
Oh yeah. I reeled him in. He was just like, I was fishing for a huckleberry, and I knew he's local. I've been kind of like bickering back and forth with him since we're, I don't know, 19. I mean, rest in peace, Willie Gadson, his father. But Kyven and I go way back, and Willie actually had an influential part of my career. I had that trouble in high school, and he kind of introduced me to Wade Chalice, which introduced me to JD Robbins, which is my initial descent down to South Florida with the Florida Jets. And that's how I learned freestyle. So inadvertently, I have Kyven and his family to thank for a lot of my success, even just the fact of knowing about freestyle wrestling. I was a football player, lacrosse, from East Baltimore, eating crab cakes. I didn't know about freestyle wrestling. So Kyven and I actually go way back, whether we knew each other personally. That probably that introduction I wouldn't say happened until I went to Iowa State, but I've always known who he was. You know, it's such a small level. You know, it's such a small circle at this highest level that, you know, we all know, we know of everyone, whether we've met or not. So to me, this match has been inevitable, whether he's been 40 pounds bigger than me or around the same vicinity. I've always wanted to wrestle this mug.
Yeah, I feel like you guys kind of overlapped. And I know when you left Iowa State, seemed like there's a little animosity, and Kyvan's always been kind of like the poster guy for Iowa State. And I think
Right.
he told me, like, we went up and interviewed him, and I asked him what your guys' relationship was like, and he says for the most part it was pretty positive. Would you say the same?
Yeah, I heard that interview. And he wants to talk about me being a traitor with no loyalty, which is really just him being salty that I got to do what I got to do for my career, you know? I'm sorry, I'm not from Iowa, and I got this loyalty to the Cyclones. I mean, I'm still a Cyclone. I got my degree from there.
Dr. Downey.
I had to pass the GRE and get into grad school at the University of Iowa. Then, you know, shit hit the fan there. I didn't finish my graduate program because I didn't get to wrestle. But, I mean, I'm as loyal as they come. I love Kyven. I'm not calling him out because I have a hate for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, contrary to popular belief, where I'm from, me calling somebody out is actually giving them respect. Like, I'm not calling out Joe Schmo in the corner who's a bum. I'm calling out somebody who I want to give up a few pounds. I want to challenge myself against a national champ. I want to see how good I am. So Kyven is got obviously on my hit list.
Let's go. I love that. So you're coming full circle. We got a producer here if you see me looking to the side, but we're coming full circle with this thing, you know? I'm excited for it. A lot of people are excited for it, and some people think that we're making this like a work or something like that. I'm like, no, these guys are just two competitive dudes that want to get after it in the state of Iowa. You said you're be coming back, and when you think about your time at Iowa, you know, you hit Iowa Central, Iowa State, and Iowa. What would you call your Iowa home? What city in Iowa?
Oh, I'm definitely a dirty Dodger at heart. I'm Fort Dodge all the way, baby. If Iowa Central is a 4-year program, I tell Moffitt and Bennett and Raleigh this all the time. I'd have never left. You know, there's only one college program that I got tatted on me.
Oh,
and
wow.
This is the Iowa Central Wrestling Club. This is our trident. And actually, Moffitt got it with us once we won. Our whole team got it. So I know where my heart is at when it comes to Iowa, you know, and I always felt the love there from all the programs. I have no hate for, you know, any of them. Really, Iowa loves wrestling. I love wrestling. I feel like Iowa always loved me. Like, I never really felt any like resentment or animosity towards the programs. I was just like a little bit different, you know. I didn't really fit in necessarily. I'm an East Coast kid, kind of outspoken, and, you know, kind of living my life by my own set of rules. I kind of always had a hard time conforming to the specific programs, you know, curriculums, if you will. But Iowa Central, I really thrived, man. They let me be myself, and I was locked in. When you give me that type of love, and I don't feel like that forced, it makes me want to do my best for you. And that's what Moffitt was able to get out of me, man. I swear, if they still let JUCO champs wrestle in that NCAA tournament, I'd have given Gadson and Snyder and Cox a run that year in that tournament. I talk about it all the time, but I was a big 97 pounder that year.
Yeah, man, I'm a big Iowa State fan, so I remember you wrestling then. And the year that you All-American for Iowa State was Madison Square Garden, correct?
Correct, man. And I had suffered a real bad rib injury that year, and then I cut down to 184. And then the week of Big 12s, Coach Jackson makes me wrestle off of 84 and 97 the same day. I beat both guys in the wrestle off. I'm like, yep, so I can go 84. But then he decided that we had an automatic qualifier in Dane Stano.
Yep.
So they bumped me up to 97. I went into that Big 12 tournament, a pigtail, 190 pounds, wringing wet. I had spent 6 months training my body to get to 84. I mean, I had a week notice to go into 97, and I couldn't even get past 190. Ask guys in the tournament on the last day when you're allowed 3-pound weight allowance for the All-American round day. Guys are coming in at 200. I'm a $190, man. I was very undersized that year. I really think I'd have won at 84 that year. That's why I was calling out Gabe Dean so heavily before the U.S. Opens and stuff, because he was the champ. So, again, that's just respect out of Gabe Dean. I'm not calling out a bum. I'm calling out the champ.
Yeah, when you rank that All-American at Iowa State, where does that, among all your accolades, where does that rank among the rest of them?
Dude, that's up there. I was just talking to my father about that. That's up there with the U.S. Opens and the World Teams, and winning some senior level tournaments, and I got some Pan Am medals, and I helped Team USA get a bronze medal in Kazakhstan. You know what I mean? Without the NJRTC's points, me and Tyler Graff's points, I mean, Team USA doesn't medal. We had a lot of heavy hitters on that team not score any points. I don't want to call out names, but they know who they are. They went to the World Championships. They didn't score a single point. So I'm out here helping my country get medals. And All-American in that year, under those circumstances, giving up the weight, the transfer that I had to pass 42 credits. JUCO guys told me I didn't need an NCAA D1. They told me I didn't need a college JUCO degree. But that was a lie, because if you remember the transfer rules, it was 4-2-4. I started in Nebraska, went to Iowa Central, back to Iowa State. I needed a degree. So not only did I jam a year and a half's work into a half a semester to get eligible, I had a broken rib that still sticks out to this day. I'm getting PRP injections in, and I was undersized, man. So that's in my top 5 accolades at All-American. So, I mean, it's not what you want. You want to be a national champ, but it's important to me.
Okay, so one of my favorite quotes of all time, whenever I try to sell this wrestling match to any friends or family, like tell them to tune in, I kind of give them the Pat Downey backstory a little bit. But one of my favorite quotes that you've ever had was when you had that little walk around interview with Mark Bader, and he asked you, what happened at Iowa, and you're like, I was on the roster for one day, and you were kind of talking about the conversation you had with Tom or Terry, I don't remember, and they said you're not part of the Wolf Pack. And do you remember what you told them?
Yeah, I do remember. I was with Coach Tom Brand, and he said, when you're in the room, you're part of the Wolf Pack. When I'm here, I'm a Wolf. But in general, when I'm outside, I'm not part of Wolf Pack. And I told him, I'm like, yeah, man, because I'm a damn eagle. I like flying around the jungle with lions, tigers, bears, and gorillas. I'm not part of the Wolf Pack. I was like, you're right.
I'm an eagle. I love that. That's the best quote you could have said. Did you actually say that, or is that something that you just told Bader?
Yeah, no, that was verbatim.
Wow. What made you think of that?
Well, that's a story for another time, but let's just say I had a spiritual experience that told me I was an eagle, and I've always felt drawn to the bald eagle. Obviously, it's our home country's, the emblem, but I just love that concept, and they have one mate. They live long, and there's a lot of things about it, but I don't know. I think it just hit home for me at that time. I was like, you know what? I'm not a wolf. I'm not part of the Wolf Pack. You're right. And shit, couldn't be truer words to this day. You see me now, man. I'm as nomadic as they come. I'm in South Florida. Every day's vacation for me. Guys like Kyven are hating that he's got to live in Iowa, and he's mad that I'm down here living the dream. And I'm like, man, you should be mad.
Yeah, it's funny. So you're down there in Florida. You moved down there to you're trying to get into MMA game, or are you going to stick with this jiu-jitsu stuff, or what's going on after the Street League?
Yeah, I've been on a little bit of a training hiatus with all the gyms. Honestly, I've been just doing my own thing. I haven't really been, I'm letting my body get healthy. I got to get this finger surgery, and ligaments are torn, and it's broken. I can't really properly close a fist on my right. So that's been, it's kind of hard to get surgery when you're always grappling and scrapping on the mats. So you'll see my hand will be taped up on the 14th out in Iowa. And then I'm looking for a time probably after the trials to get that fixed. I got some different RTC opportunities in the make. So I would like to really start my own RTC, maybe the PD3 RTC or something down here, where we could recruit guys like me to transition into MMA. I mean, I'm in the fighting hotbed of the world, I mean, the MMA route's inevitable, but it's not going anywhere. I'm not looking to just quit wrestling because wrestling doesn't like me, because USA Wrestling doesn't want me to be their guy. I'm not just ready to say, hey, okay, you don't want me to be the guy, so I'm going to go give up 20 years of hard work. This is my dream. So I'll be there at the trials. I'll be there making teams. I'll be there. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
So we're about a year later after you got canceled. You put out some tweets and all that, and that whole thing played out. It's about a year later, and what's your feelings about it now? Has it changed, or is it just it is what it is? I'm looking forward to the future. What are your thoughts now, a year later?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sucks, man. You go from, having not much with that setback at Iowa, going back home to Baltimore with like my tail between my legs, essentially, not bringing home a national title to my grandfather, which was a promise. So I really had to bite the bullet on that one. But then, as Tom Brand says, what do? You get the next best thing. So I went undefeated on the senior circuit with Reese, and great training partners with CJ Brucky and Nate Jackson and all the guys at Princeton and Rutgers. I mean, there's love found there, and I didn't lose any love for them guys. The NIL got released with these college athletes allowed to get paid for their likeness. First thing I do is hook up one of the athletes with a sponsor from Rutgers. You know what I mean? So I'm as loyal as they come as far as that goes. Now, with that being said, I'm still me. I'm still as real as they come. I said what I said.
Yeah.
It's not my fault that people wanted to pay me to wrestle David Taylor on the main event, and they didn't want to pay women as much as they did me on that same event. I'm not Flo Wrestling. I can't tell Flo who to put on their card, nor do I really give a damn. I'm out here trying to get paid and wrestle for me and make a living for me and my family. And I was the trailblazer for this, man. I started this stuff up. I was the one wrestling Nikki Rod and Carver Hawkeye in the main event, giving up 40 pounds a month after the World Championships on 2 days' notice. You know what I mean? I was the one growing the sport, talking my shit, promoting myself, building my brand from scratch. So if they think that for a second they're going to change me, you got another thing coming. You can cancel me all you want, but I'm still here, baby.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I had with it, and we made our jokes. We're the one who, do you remember that training day meme that I made about you?
Oh yeah, that shit was great.
That was us. Did you know that we made it?
It was awesome.
Did you know that?
with Denzel, right?
Yeah, we made that.
That was A1. I gotta find that again.
Yeah, you gotta post that because I remember when I made that. I made it. And I was like, well, he's either gonna. I actually did not think you would like it. I thought you wouldn't like it, and you DM me and you're like, hey, where's that video? And I thought you were gonna like go off on us and do all this stuff, and I'm like, here we go. I gotta have my head.
I didn't like it. I loved it.
I was like, I gotta have my head on a swivel if I ever run around Pat. And then you ended up posting it, and like you loved it, and like had a good sense of humor about it.
I loved it. But man. I thought it was brilliant.
But I think it's kind of a perfect clip because it's like you can shoot me, but you can't kill me, right?
And here's the thing: is like I went from essentially not even being able to wipe my ass without Flo putting me on their page. The same thing that they canceled me for is the same thing that they built my brand and made me their clickbait for,
Correct.
I tweet something, they'd post it as a picture. I'd be like, Jesus, this is getting out of hand. Why don't y'all cover some real wrestling? So it went from one extreme to the other. Now they won't even, show my videos of me competing at the trials or mention, don't expect them to talk about this match at all. So it's just, it's amazing that I can live and die by the same sword in the same week, because everything I was saying was information, was facts coming from Flo, coming from guys who are now no longer with Flo. It wasn't just me that got canceled. So,
well, the thing that I found weird was like, they knew what they signed up for having you on the card. Like I'm not gonna lie, Pat, we're having you on this card because you draw attention. You know how to do that, and a lot of guys in this sport don't know how to do that. So they knew what they were getting when they got you, and they got what they should have expected. And then next thing you know, you're not on it anymore, and the fallout happened. Which you said what you said. You got to accept those consequences as well. But them acting like they didn't know that this kind of thing would happen. It's like that's how Pat is able to promote himself and be different, and that's why Pat has. How many Instagram followers you have, how many Twitter followers you have, and
And then what they do is they proceed to make a market off of what I brought exposure to. they use me as the scapegoat because I'm flat out saying, hey, I would love for Vicky Anthony and Sarah Hildebrandt or Jakara or whomever, Helen and Allie Reagan or Adeline and, Erica Weeby or I would love, or Tamara, I would love to pay to watch. I said I would pay my own money out of my pocket to watch these stars. Ask Vicky Anthony. I just put her in line with a clinic, and I'm always referencing their technique, and I'm always staying around in Italy or whatever match and tournament to watch. I'm the biggest women's wrestling advocate and supporter. Everything I do is for my women, my mom and my sister. So if there's anybody who wants, and I want to be a coach one day, don't you think that I understand the only way that men's wrestling sticks around is by including women, the whole Title IX deal? We need women to wrestle. So with that being said, Flo goes and uses me as a scapegoat and then proceeds to make an all women's wrestling card to try to cover up their lack of women.
That's not wrong. Yeah. That whole thing was kind of chaos, and that's kind of how we got our start, because we kind of tried to cover that whole thing, and to watch it play out now, it's like it's kind of comical. What it kind of reminded me of is, I'm a big UFC fan. When Conor McGregor took that dolly and he threw it through the window, and Dana White goes out there and says how awful that was, and that was terrible. But what did they use in the promo videos for that for the Conor Khabib thing?
And then they capitalize off of it.
Right.
They used it to make money. It's amazing.
Yeah. Anyways, I did want to talk a little bit about you and Reese Humphrey's relationship. You and Reese seem to have a very good relationship even after you left the NJRTC, and he seemed to really get you to kind of, I think, your peak in wrestling at that so far. Do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. Reese is my guy, man. Him and Coach Jackson were in my corner at the trials, at the World Championships. And Reese, just him and I specifically one-on-one, really got it. I mean, really like a smart dude that understands the balance and understood me. Like, hey, this guy's going to work his ass off, but he's going to go have a beer, and he's going to, I'm a normal dude. That doesn't mean I'm not going to show up ready to give you my best. And that doesn't mean I'm not ready to scrap. But he was a guy that really could connect with me. Besides the intelligence that he has and him at his own level, making 3 world teams and being at the best, representing our country, besides that, he's just able to really make me want to, similar to a Moffitt situation at Iowa Central, make me feel the love to where I wanted to reciprocate and not let him down and not be like, hey, I'm missing your workout because I'm hungover or something. That was never an excuse to me, And with that being said, he would know, hey, Downey's not at 100%. Let's not give him 5 matches today. Let's taper. Maybe he does get injured if he goes through my whole plan workout on this day. We were very flexible, and when you're real with somebody, it allows you that communication and trust. And that's why I say, man, me and Reese, we're undefeated in this country. We still never lost, baby.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about you want to start a Pat Downey RTC. If you're going to pick 3 wrestlers right now, if there's a draft and you got to pick 3, you had all the money in the world, who you picking? Because you said you wanted to pick people that are like you. So pick 3.
Yeah. Well,
who fits the mold?
I got to be a little stingy here because I got to have training partners too.
Okay.
But there's a fine line where your training partner becomes your competition.
Okay.
So maybe give me like an Alex Dieringer who can go 79 in the non-Olympic year and throw a AJ Ferrari in there.
Okay.
At 92. And then, we need a big dog. That Gable cat's pretty good. I would like some rolls with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take Ringer, Ferrari, Stevenson. That's a good little crew to start up with.
What are you calling him? What's the name?
I don't know. What comes off the tongue nicely? You got to have something like that's like an alliteration, like the following syllables. Like maybe we're like the I don't know, like the Goon Squad or something.
Okay,
I don't know.
Let me ask you this: did PD3 walk so AJ Ferrari could fly?
So you're saying did I kind of lay the groundwork? Did I set the template?
I don't know. I like AJ Ferrari, big AJ Ferrari fan, but you see kind of I think you guys are different too. There's a lot of differences, but AJ's the same as you in terms of you're both not afraid. You don't care about the traditional wrestling fans who are like, you shouldn't showboat, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that.
Right.
You guys know what gets people going, whether they like you, whether they hate you, whether they're booing you or cheering you. Both you guys go out there to entertain. And to me, that's like what this whole Street League thing is about, is we're trying to find guys that are willing to go out there and make people get on their feet, whether they're booing you or cheering you, right? You guys
you got to be able
things.
to wrestle too, point blank, right? Let's
Correct.
stick to the topic.
Yep.
You have to be able to wrestle.
And
now, I think our wrestling styles are comparable? Not necessarily. Do I know him well enough personally to know if a lifestyle? Not necessarily. He kind of I showed him around when he took his visit at Rutgers, and I know his family comes from great people, you know, and I know he's a Leo, and I'm a Leo, so we're about to be flourishing. You haven't even seen us in our peak season. It's about to be king season here soon. So I know we have a lot of similarities, but most importantly, the kid can wrestle.
Correct.
He's got a great work ethic. He wrestles and he wins. How do you not like that? I mean, let's just take the character and the personality out of it. That's all sprinkles on top. I like him because he can scrap, you know? He's out there banged up. He's out there at Junior Worlds. He's out there Cadet Worlds. I mean, I followed him. I don't know if he's necessarily following me or my footsteps. I think we're all our own people. But if you can wrestle, you got a fan in me. I don't care if you have no personality or any, you know, or a biggest personality ever. None of it works if you can't scrap. So
I think you got obviously you got to be good at wrestling, one, but two, you got to be real. It's got to be genuine. You can't go out there and just be like, well, I'm going to start talking trash because it's working for Pat, it's working for AJ, it's working for all these guys. You got to genuinely in your heart be like Connor. You watch Connor, he genuinely is like a funny, charismatic guy.
And that's where Kaivan's got me cracking up. I'm calling him corny Kyven, cringy Kyven, Kaivan Gadson, ice cream kid. Because these are all things that just flow off the tongue for me. These are natural things, the way to approach him. But to me, the way he's kind of trying to match my energy and match the style, this is out of character for Kyven. This is cool to me. I'm like, damn, you really do have some personality under there. Now, imagine if we got to bring this out of everybody. Every wrestler in the individual sport was showing their individual character. I mean, this could be so much more marketable. You would finally know. Society would know that this is real wrestling. They wouldn't think of that fucking whatever, the WWE. That wouldn't be their thought of wrestling. They would have, you know, you got Monday Night Football. You got the Friday night fights. We should have wrestling Wednesdays. It should be in there every part of the week, just like mainstream television has everything else.
Do people in the MMA world, I know you're in MMA gyms. Where are you currently at right now? Where are you training?
Training at Sanford MMA. That's where I represented at the Olympic trials. If you noticed, that's what I had as my, you know. So
are they aware of how your popularity within the wrestling world? Are they aware of what's going on?
Well, I kind of came down here looking to restart and rebrand. So Coach Jones is who I initially reached out to. Greg Jones, you know, NCAA wrestling legend. I grew up watching this dude, a big fan of his style, and he's a great coach. So I knew that he's somebody I would need in my corner when, you know, kind of getting to this next level when I ultimately do step into the MMA world. But I think these guys, you know, they know wrestling wins fights. If you look at the background, it's no secret that wrestling is a huge part of MMA and combat sports. So when they have me in there as a training partner, I think they see the value in me as an athlete, not so much this other extracurricular bullshit with the media or the cancel culture. You know, they let me be me. They're not worried about any politics. They love what I bring to the table and to the gym as a training partner, you know, and that's my relationship. I'm just there to help them and they're there to help me. It's like a mutual partnership, you know, that's how it should be. So I feel the love at that gym, and whether I start fighting this year, next year, I'll definitely be fighting out of Sanford MMA.
Cool. Right on. All right. Before we get you out of here, who were 3 wrestlers that you looked up to as a kid, or who did you try to imitate or be like?
So well, you had Baltimore Butcher, man, Rico Chiapparelli, the OG. I really grew up just because he had the Italian spot in East Baltimore called Chiapparelli's, his family owned. So I would grow up. My father would like be instilling this in me, in my subconscious. They would have his Iowa picture up when he was on teams with Royce Alger and all of them studs winning back when Gable, when they were perennial powerhouse. So I grew up kind of having that programmed into my subconscious. So inevitably he became, and I'm a long, wiry guy. I took a lot of shit from Rico. And then Randy Lewis, another guy, just Iowa legend, throw the kitchen sink at you. But guys more my era, Greg Jones, Mac Lunas out of Mount St. Joe. We had Ryan Davis, and then Jordan Oliver and Darion Caldwell, guys just a few years older than me, right across the street in Jersey. You know what I mean? In PA. So I had some badasses as influences, and it was only like the top for me. It's always, and it still is, until I win the world championships or the Olympics, I won't leave the sport satisfied. I've come pretty close, but close only counts as horseshoes and hand grenades. So I still got some work to do, man. I still got another level to get to.
All right, I like that. All right, last question here. Prediction for this match.
Yeah, I'd love to say I'm gonna come out there and attack him and put on a takedown clinic, but let's be real. Kyven knows what he's doing. He's a big cat. We've gone back and forth in the practice rooms together. He's had his best days, and I've had days where I've had my better days and bested him. So we know each other from a stylistic standpoint. It's going to be more of a chess match than people think. He's saying he's going to come beat me up. I mean, I've been hungover as shit. That dude can't beat me up. I'm coming out sober as a goat, ready to whip his ass. He's not beating anybody up. I'll say that. I don't care if he outweighs me by 40 pounds. And I'm putting on weight, man. I'm almost 200 pounds now. When I took this match, I was 185. And I was thinking we were going to scrap at 92 because that's what he just wrestled at. I'm like, all right, no problem. He wants to throw a 7-minute clause in there. Well, we can wrestle 7 minutes. Get your fat ass down to weight, and we'll wrestle 7 minutes all you want, buddy. But he ain't getting every advantage in the book, all right? I'm not coming over to his time zone. He's not getting 20-pound weight advantage with a 7-minute match. It's just not happening. So if he wants a 7-minute match, he can make weight, and we can see how it goes. But I foresee it being very competitive, and I could say it's a coin flip. It's who's ever the best man on that day.
All right, Pat, I appreciate you, brother, for coming on. I appreciate you for doing this. We're really excited for it, and we'll be in touch, my man. Anything else you want to say to the haters or the fans out there?
Nah, man, just stay on the loose. I got a new apparel deal coming. I got a new shoe deal coming. PD3's dropping the Air Downies. We're back, baby. I ain't going anywhere wrestling.
All right, let's go. I appreciate it. Guys, thanks for watching, and tune into this match. August 13th, Pat Downey, Kaivan Gadson, pay-per-view. Check it out. Thanks, guys.